guitar players, my name's Jack Jennings. I'm just going to share with you a few clips from a new course that I've made with Manish Pingle and Gurdain Rayatt, who are two wonderful Indian classical musicians. At the moment you can see the first few chapters on Patreon if you sign up as a gold patron. Every week there's a new chapter coming out, and that will take us right up until the end of November. One more thing that you guys should know is that I'm now teaching group classes on Zoom. They're very small groups, so there's lots of time to go through all the details of the music, give people really tailored feedback, and I can just point out any little detail which I can see is going to help you with your technique or to develop this style. So get in touch if you'd like to join one of these groups. Only a few spaces available because they are such small groups, so please get in touch if you'd like to join one of them soon. So let's just walk you through the structure. We would start with the root note here on fret 7, and then we'd move straight up to the major third, which is on fret 11, and then we have the 12 and 14 for the 4th and 5th note. I've just given a few different options as to where you can play this note. For example, on the B string you can play at fret 18, and then come back down to the 19 on the G string. If you've got 22 frets, you could play it on that single string on the G string again, which is a really good way to do it. I don't have 22 frets, I've only got 21 because this is a kind of old school strat, but I could just do it as a bend. So that's probably what I would do in my case, because that gives a nice flavour to that high note. You might find that that's just a bit more approachable to begin with. So a really nice way to articulate that cool more ga would be to play ga, ma, and then a descending bend, or it could be a slide. But the good thing about a bend is that you can do it slowly, so it really brings out more of the attitude of that note. So that was a ga, ma, and then that's just a release of a bend, so you have to do a pre-bend, so you're bending from a 12, but you just need to get used to where that note is, and then you're releasing it down to the 10. So if you just practice that, so you're picking it at the top and then just letting it sustain as it bends. If you just practice that, you'll get used to it. So that's ga, ga, sa, ga. And it's good to space out that phrase because you've got that juxtaposition between the two gas, so it's nice if they're a little bit separate. It's really just pick, slide, slide, slide. Yeah, but you sustain the note at the end, so it has this nice feeling of kind of speeding up but then being very still again. Now we're going to play it along with the tablature, and I'm not using any ornamentations right now. We're just going to focus on the timing and the flow between the sequences, so I'm just playing it as it's seen on the tab. And at this point it's really good to move on to the B string, so we can play cool more ni, fret 17 of the G, but then we'll go up to our sa at fret 15 of the B string. So ni, sa, ni, here between 17, 15, 17, 15. So that's just a little string change. You could just carry on the G string, pa, ni, ga, ni, sa, ni, and if you had an extra 22nd fret you could play sa, cool more ga as well. So that kind of actually makes more sense if you're just going to go straight back down. But to continue up higher, the problem that you really have is that when you want to go to a should ga, you have to go directly up to the same fret. So for example, you have sa at fret 19 on the G, and then the should ga is 19 on the B, so it's a little bit harder to sort of do that. Of course at moderate speed it's fine, but if you're trying to do that quickly it becomes, you have to maybe start using a different finger underneath, so it's just a little bit more versatile. It gives us a bit more freedom to move around if we actually go to that B string, and then we can play the Sa, Cornwall Ga, Sa, but then we can get that ring finger on the 19 to play the Should Ga. So it works, just works a little bit better, and then easier to go through the rest of the scale from there. Sa, and I always found myself sliding up to that Ga. So it's really a sort of 5 and then hammer slide. So it's 5 and then hammer onto the 7 with the ring finger and then slide up. So you don't really hear the fret 7 very much. It just gives you a nice clear way to get up to the 10. Okay, so let's just hear that one more time.